I go through periods in my life where I just start rotting in bed for no reason. This could be for days, it could even be for weeks sometimes. During the period, I just have nothing that I'm working towards, I have no dreams or anything. I'm just sitting in my bed. I'd be scrolling on Instagram, I'd be scrolling on TikTok, anything like that, and that would be my whole day. These moments would usually occur every time I had a long period of time where I would be free. So in my life, it was mostly during school break or university breaks. If it was just like a long weekend, it wouldn't be that deep, but every time it was Christmas break or summer break, it got really bad. I think most people that experience the same thing are like going through something. Like most of the time it's because of depression or something to do with their mental health, but for me it was never really that. In these periods I definitely wasn't depressed or anything, I just think I was lazy. I'm naturally like a very lazy person, and you could ask any of my friends that. I don't know how you would ask my friends, it'd actually be very creepy if you could. I've never shared any of my friends' contact details, so please don't be contacting my friends actually, but hypothetically if you could contact my friends, they would tell you the same thing. I'm just naturally so lazy, so every time I had a long period of free time I would just embrace it. Embracing it is probably not the right term, but I would just do nothing, Luckily for me though, this was in the past and I haven't experienced one of these periods in a very long time. Nowadays I keep myself busy with this channel and just some other things. Also, I've just got a lot older, so I just don't have as much free time as I used to when I was younger. But currently I am in a period of my life where I do have a lot of free time because I have just graduated. I calm down everyone, I can already see the comments. Congratulations, oh my god, you're so cool. Like, nah, chill out guys. I just graduated from one of the top universities, it's not that big of a deal. I am joking, by the way, for the people that can't tell, I am a very humble man. Also, that is the worst fishing rod I could have ever got. Holy shit. My goal is to make like a god fishing rod, but oh my god, I'm gonna have to go get more levels now. For the new viewers, I have this mending fishing rod and I'm gonna obviously combine it with my god fishing rod, but this might take me a while. So as I was saying, I have graduated from university and right now in my life, I'm just applying for jobs. I've actually been struggling to land a job, so if all of you could subscribe right now, that would be great. Imagine I start making money from this. Just a suggestion, that would be crazy. But yeah, pretty much I'm by myself, just applying for jobs, and I don't really have much friends near me, so I have a lot of free time. If this was me even just like 2 years ago, I would most definitely just be rotting in bed the whole time. The thing that I realized that really helped me to get out of this rot is that if you are passionate about something and you don't have to work too hard to work on whatever you want to, then just like force yourself to do it. Because during these periods of time, I definitely still had passions. I said I wasn't working towards my goals in the intro, but I still had goals in mind, but I just physically couldn't get myself to work towards them. But for me, what I ended up doing was when I started this channel, I just forced myself to post every single day, and that's why I've been posting daily. And after a couple weeks, it just became part of my routine, so it actually feels kind of weird when I don't record a video. And obviously most people have more than one goal, it doesn't always have to be like career based, it can be like health wise or anything. Just working towards this YouTube channel every day has helped me have a bit of structure in my life, and now I'm doing other things as well. When I started this channel, I was only doing this channel most of the days. Like apart from that, I would just be wasting my time again. But as I said, once it became part of my routine, I now just have started naturally doing other things as well, which is amazing. But as I said, it wasn't always like this. Even last year during university, it got really bad for me, like these periods of time where I just rot in bed. But I'm gonna go into that in a little bit. Let me quickly go back to the school days. Ooh, that's a name tag, let's go. I was gonna go name one of my dogs, but I don't have the comment section pulled up, so I'll just do that in the next video. In school, I obviously was a kid, so every time I had free time, I'll just be playing video games with my friends. But even in like the older years where people started doing other things as well, not just school and video games, like people started working on other things. I was one of like the only people out of my friend group that wouldn't do anything else but just like play video games all day. It got so bad that I was known as the person in the group that was like always free. My friends never really said anything, but it was quite obvious that they also felt the same way. I knew this because they would be busy all day, and every time they wanted to play a game, they would always call me out of everyone. And I would love to think it's because they just love me so much and I'm their best friend. Well, I'm sure that's a part of it, but I was always free, so they would never expect me to say no. Like most of the time, like 99.9999% of the time, I would say yes. I was also the friend in the group that didn't really have any preferences when it came to which video game to play, so it would be perfect for any of my friends to call me when they had any free time and they just wanted to play anything. The rare moments where I'd be busy and they call me, they would be like so surprised that I'm actually doing something. And back then I didn't really deep it that much, but like with hindsight now, when I think back on it, it was really bad. But again, I was still a kid, so it's not too deep, but it got really bad in university, as I said. During school, I lived with my family, so they obviously had the rights to tell me to do something sometimes. If they wanted help with something, or if they were just annoyed that I was playing games all day, they could obviously just force me to do something else, which obviously makes sense because they're my parents and they were paying for everything. I can't just say no to that. But when I moved to university, I was completely by myself, so it was the first time in my life where I actually had true freedom. In the first year of university, it actually wasn't too bad. I wouldn't rot in bed too much because I had things to do. Back then I was still trying to make new friends, and you know, it's like a new environment. I was still getting to know the city, and I had classes every day, so I'll just go to those. And you know, in the first year I was just like getting used to the place and making new memories with new people. So it wasn't actually too bad in first year. I never really went through those periods. I obviously had nights, or even on some days I would be just on my phone all day, but they would be very rare. It would be like a one-off thing, you know, it wouldn't be like for weeks or anything. I also just think it would have been harder for me to rot in bed during that time because all my friends lived like really close to me. My friends always wanted to do something, or you know, we would always be like going somewhere, so it would be rare for me to even have the chance to rot in bed. But second year is when it got really bad. This was when I was living in a flat with people I didn't really know, so I didn't really talk to them too much. And I'm quite an introverted guy, and back then I was definitely more introverted than I am now. There would be times when one of my flatmates would be in the kitchen just cooking with like his girlfriend or something, and if I wanted to go get something from the fridge, or you know, just get something from the kitchen, I wouldn't even go in there because there were other people in there. I always hated small talk, so I knew if I went in there I would have to go like, oh, how was your day or whatever, and then I'd have to talk to the girlfriend as well because she's not always here. Like, I'll just be overthinking it instead of just going in there saying hi and just getting whatever I wanted, which led to me just being in bed all day, and like I was genuinely just withering my life away, man. You know, nowadays if I have a day where I'm just like in bed for most of the day, at least I've done like something during the day. Back then I did nothing at all. I didn't even like go on a walk or anything, so my steps were probably like fucking like 150 during the day or something crazy like that. So it wasn't just bad mentally, but it was like probably physically very unhealthy as well. And when I think back on it, I know exactly when it got really bad. After the first few weeks of second year, I just started skipping random classes for like no reason at all. You know, sometimes I'll skip like the 9 a.m. class, which is understandable because like who the fuck wants to go to a 9 a.m. class? Which if you're still in high school, like don't say anything because you actually don't understand the difference between a 9 a.m. in high school compared to a 9 a.m. in university. The difference is actually unreal. Back in high school I had to wake up at 6 every day and I found that completely fine, but in university I couldn't even leave my bed till like 11 or 12. And that might be me being generous, I can't even lie. There were probably days where I'd leave my bed at like 2 or 3 a.m. So yeah, I'll skip the early classes sometimes, which you know, I'll allow myself, but then there were times where I'd just skip like the 4 p.m. class just because I didn't want to go. And you know, it'd be completely fine if I went to the gym instead, or if I was like doing an online course or something, but instead I was just on my phone scrolling through TikTok, which obviously isn't fine, and at the time I thought it was completely normal to do that. As I said, I wasn't like depressed or anything. I was probably quite happy that I just get to scroll through TikTok. As I've got older, I've just started valuing time a lot more, and life's just been getting serious. You know, soon if I land a job, like hopefully I do, I'm gonna start working 9 to 5 every single day. I'm gonna go into the office every single day. I'm gonna start making money. I'm gonna start providing for myself. So when I think about that, knowing that I'm not gonna have much free time in the future, I seriously regret not doing much in my free time. Like, I've always wanted to do YouTube, and I'm annoyed at myself that I just didn't pursue it years ago. But again, as I said, every time I was in this rut, I just wouldn't do anything at all. By third year of university, I realized what was going wrong, and you know, I decided to change my ways. I started going to every single class. Obviously I skipped some here and there, but you know, I didn't use 9 a.m. as an excuse. I started going on runs, I started going on walks, you know, I was just bettering my life. But the thing is, I also go through periods of my life where I just have like random spikes of motivation. I've talked about this before a few times in other videos, but just to summarize it, I just get these random spikes of motivation that could last a day, could last a few weeks, could even last months. I'm hoping the motivation for this YouTube channel isn't one of these spikes, but I'm assuming it's not because I'm having a really good time. Pretty much in these few weeks, I'll always just think like, oh my god, I'm completely wasting my life. So I'll just get random motivation to like completely turn my life around, and you know, I'll be like so determined to do it. I'll start waking up at like 6, 7 a.m. I'll start going on runs immediately. I'll start working on like random projects and shit. But out of nowhere, the motivation would just die down, and I'll just forget about all that. I'd forget the grind that I was on, and I'll just go back to the rotting in bed days. Talking about wasting your life, though, I also have these moments where I'm sitting there and I just start deeping everything. This definitely still happens to me now. I just start deeping everything. Like, am I going down the wrong career path? Or just like anything. Like, am I in the right country? Did I go to the right university? Did I choose the right things? If you told me from like 5 years ago that I go through this, they would be so surprised. Back then I lived life with like no stress at all. I would never think about anything. Well, at least like I wouldn't deep anything, you know, anything that's out of my control, I would never think about it. Which I kind of envy. I wish I could live like that again, and I think it's just a product of getting older. But yeah, nowadays I just start stressing about my future, and it's like, it really eats me up sometimes. As I said, I'm applying for jobs and hopefully I do land one, but deep down I do not want to live in the corporate life. I also made a whole video about fearing the corporate life, and I still am scared of it. I've seen firsthand how the corporate life can eat you up, and I've seen how it changes people. People just start quitting their hobbies and their whole life just becomes their job. And I know it's the same situation for entrepreneurs or self-employed people. In some situations it probably even is worse for them because they don't actually have set hours, and sometimes you work all day. At least in the corporate life you have set working hours, and afterwards you can do whatever you want. But the people that I've talked to that are part of the corporate life, they just feel like really drained afterwards. So when they return home, they just feel like doing nothing, and they just like end up sitting on the sofa and just like catching up on their Netflix series that they've been watching or whatever. And that really scares me. And also, I'm just not passionate about like anything to do do with corporate jobs. I'm sure if I like really look into it, there'll be something that I wouldn't mind. Potentially a job where I get to make videos, but you know, for the company instead. But I have had an internship in the past where I was set tasks to make like content for the company, but I definitely did not enjoy it as much as I enjoy making videos for myself. In reality, I did not enjoy it at all because there really isn't any creative freedom, and I'm sure there are some companies where you do get the creative freedom, but the company I was working for set specific rules and made sure that the content would be some type of way. I remember I gave like a few drafts of some of the content and I thought it was amazing because I put my creative mind to it, and they appreciated it. They said it looked amazing, but they did not want it because it was not within the boundaries of what they said. And I know these Minecraft videos aren't like anything special, you know, like it's not even very creative. I'm just playing Minecraft and I'm talking over it. But I also love storytelling, and I've also been over that in past videos. Well, like obviously, or I wouldn't have this channel in the first place. But I do have another channel that I'm not gonna mention, so don't ask for it. On that channel, I express my creativity a little bit more. But yeah, my true passion is making YouTube videos, and you know, obviously I can't just do it if I'm not making money from it. Even if I land a job, hopefully on the side I'm still gonna be doing YouTube because I really enjoy it. But if I somehow start making money from this and enough where I can live off it, oh, that's a book. That could be good. Let's see what that is. I don't actually think that's good. Maybe for like a crossbow, right? I don't know if you could put power on a crossbow, but the other two are crossbows, I believe. I bet that I'm definitely never gonna use that book, I'll be completely honest. So as I was saying, making YouTube videos for a living is definitely my dream, but you know, it's obviously a very hard dream to accomplish. And I can't just like drop everything, obviously, and just like focus on YouTube. Like I need to make money somehow. The whole reason I even said this is because I start deeping everything, as I mentioned before. As I said, I always worry about the corporate life and stuff, but I also worry about this channel all the time. I'm always just like so in my head where like, even if I get like one dislike, I just start deeping it and I'm like, oh my god, why am I even doing this? Like, is this a waste of time? I could get like 70 likes and 2 dislikes and I'll start deeping the 2 dislikes. I start thinking that everyone hates me and like there's no point in these videos and I'm completely wasting my life. Which I know is crazy because I definitely get a lot more positive comments, and there's so many people in the comments every single day telling me how much they love my videos. But I think it's just part of human nature where like negativity just outweighs positivity. I've definitely seen like way bigger YouTubers, like YouTubers with like 10 million subscribers, say the same thing. Like negative comments still get to them somehow. For me, I don't actually get much negative comments at all, but just sometimes like I just deep it a bit too much. There are also times where I post a video and it just doesn't do as well as the previous one, and I just go like, oh my god, no one's watching me anymore, why am I still posting? Or, you know, if a person that used to comment on every single video just stops commenting on it, I'm like, oh, I did something wrong. And I know this is not the right way to think. I just have to take a step back and I have to think about how I have over 800 subscribers. And on top of that, this channel has only been up for like a month and a half, not even a month and a half yet, I don't think so. And I'm already so close to 1,000. Like 1,000 is a number I did not think I would ever reach, and I'm literally so close to it. But luckily for me, I have friends that I can talk to about this and they always set me straight. I have really good friends, and I think a support system is really important to get out of situations like this. You know, if you're rotting in bed or if you're just overthinking everything, talking to someone can definitely help you out, and it's definitely helped me out in the past. Also, the support that my friends show me for this channel, like it's unreal, and it like truly inspires me to keep going. But again, because I'm such an overthinker, I'm like scared to even like try new things, which is another reason why I fear the corporate life, because once you have a corporate life, a lot of people just get comfortable with their life and they're pretty much ready to just live like that for the rest of their life. And I don't know, I'm scared that that might happen to me as well. But the more important example that I was thinking of is this YouTube channel. If you've been watching me for a while, you know every single video is the same. Like I'm just playing on this world while yapping about a topic. And you know, obviously I have a lot of fun doing it, but obviously at some point I'm not going to be able to post every single day because I'm gonna run out of topics. I love yapping, don't get me wrong, I could probably go months, but you know, at some point I'm gonna have to slow it down a little bit. And because I want to continue posting every single day, I want to start posting some different things as well. I know everyone that has subscribed to the channel wants to watch me yapping, and I'm definitely not going to stop that, but I want to incorporate like yapping in different ways. A few videos ago I mentioned how I want to start making other videos as well, just apart from this world and yapping over this world. I'd love to like try Skywars maybe, or like a Skyblock world, or like a modded world, where instead of the video being fully focused on just one topic like this video is and all my other videos are, I also want to start posting videos where I talk about the gameplay a lot more than I do now. But at the same time, I yap about random things. I yap about things that are happening in my life, or just like things I find funny, or just like, you know, anything in general. But something like that would be really cool, and I think it would be a great mix. Sorry, I meant like I think it'd be like a great mix to have for like my YouTube channel, just like a mix of videos. The editing style won't change. I know you guys subscribed for the chill vibe, and I'll still be straight yapping in those videos, don't you worry. But the truth is, when I started this channel, I did not want it to be like so serious. Recently I've realized that I've been talking about like a lot more serious things than I intended to, and I guess this video is a perfect example. Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy these videos and I will still be posting videos like this, but I would also love to post videos where it's, you know, a lot more upbeat and I'm just like talking about things I enjoy and just like happier happier topics. I know I've also talked about like happier things in other videos, but I feel like the videos that I just mentioned, like those type of videos, I think they'll be great for me. First of all, I think I just like really enjoy making those type of videos, and you guys would enjoy it as well. It'll be like a nice switch up so you guys don't just get the exact same content every single day, and you know, you have something else to watch too. And it would be great for me because I would get to do some other things as well. At some point I might try play other games, but I'm like way too scared for that right now. As I said, I overthink everything, and I think there's no way anyone wants to watch me play anything else. But yeah, let me know in the comments if that sounds good to you and if I should risk it and try making some other videos. I know it's not even that big of a risk to take because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. And as big as the channel has got, I'm still like in early stages of YouTube. And during these stages, I should be like, I think, trying new things out. So yeah, I think, you know what, I think I've just convinced myself during this video that I will do that. In a few videos time, I'll try something else, so stay tuned for that. It won't be like a different game or anything, but like maybe Sky Wars or just something like that. I think a great thing that's really helped me to like not overthink things and, you know, to like actually like see what I've done so far is celebrating my small wins. To help explain this better, I'm just gonna use the example of my YouTube channel again. I'm sorry, I know I've brought it up so many times in this video. Instead of having like a huge goal in mind, like, you know, 10,000 subscribers or whatever, I've now started celebrating every time I get 100 more subscribers. I'm guessing I'll stop this once I hit 1,000 and I'll start moving it to like every 500 or whatever, but every time I hit another 100 subscribers, I have started celebrating it a little bit. And I think it's definitely helped me put things in perspective. That fishing rod isn't even much better. I still need lure 3, but you know, I'll take it for now. During the first few weeks of this channel, like I was gaining a lot of subscribers and I think I hit 100 within like the first 4 days. And you know, I was obviously super excited because it was like a new thing. But as the channel got older and I kept posting more and more videos, a higher subscriber count just became like the new normal. So for example, when I hit 500 subscribers, I didn't even like think of it much and I didn't even celebrate it at all. In my mind, I just had 1,000 subscribers as the goal. So like I didn't really care that much when I hit 500. And then I quickly hit 600, 700 and 800. And I started to realize that I need to start being like really grateful, and I need to start like taking a step back and just seeing what I have accomplished so far. I think it's just human nature to not acknowledge the progress that you made. You know, the same thing could be like said for weight loss. Like let's say in the first few weeks you lose like a lot of weight, you'll be like really excited because it's like a newer thing. But once you're like 5 or 6 weeks into your journey, you're gonna be like so focused on the end goal where you're not even gonna be celebrating the little wins. You might be losing like a kilogram every week or every 2 weeks and you just won't think of it too much. The worst thing that happens to me is like if there's a week where I don't really make too much progress. So let's say the weight scale is the same in that scenario. Let's say like you weighed in a 78 or whatever and you were still 78 by the end of the week. And that could be like really mentally tough because you start losing sight of all the progress you've made so far because you're so focused on the end goal. And then you just start beating yourself up because you've made no progress. Instead of sitting there and acknowledging that, oh whoa, I've actually lost 20 kilograms so far. So back to the YouTube analogy, there are days where I don't really gain any subscribers. You know, I might gain 1 or 2 or something. On those days, I start getting thoughts in my head like it's almost like the devil on my right shoulder, left shoulder. I don't know which shoulder the devil sits on, but you know what I mean. There'd be like voices whispering to me telling me that it's not even worth making these YouTube videos because I gained no subscribers that day, which is like such a stupid way to think. Instead, I should acknowledge that I have 800 subscribers. 800 different people have decided to support me by pressing subscribe. Once that I realized that I do that and I've started to acknowledge the smaller wins, I definitely stopped overthinking things and I've slowed down on the you're wasting your life thing. I guess like the final thing I could say is like just try be a little bit more optimistic. I know it's very normal to be pessimistic about everything, but I think if you're just a bit more optimistic in life, it might just be a bit better. But hey, who knows? I'm just a 21-year-old that's yapping, so don't take anything I said like too literally. I'm also just living life for the first time, so I'm just sharing my experiences and I hope it helped in some way. If you did end up enjoying this video though, please do leave a like and subscribe. And if you're still watching till now, you're definitely enjoying it, so you might as well click on the video that just popped up. Or don't, it's obviously up to you. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night. Peace.